Hi friends, I am Dr. Pratap Singh Rathod. I have done MD in Pharmacy Medicine, and today we'll continue with molecular aspects of wounds. In that, we'll discuss about torture. So, according to World Medical Associations under Declaration of Tokyo, torture is defined as a deliberate, systemic, wanton infliction of physical or mental suffering by one or more person acting alone or in orders of any authority to force another person to yield information or to make a confession or for any other reasons. So it is a form of uh, causing a physical pain, physical or mental suffering can be done by one person or it can be done by on the order of any authority to force another person to yield some information, make a confession or any other reason. So that is the definition of torture. So if we divide the definition, it is a deliberate systemic wanton infliction of physical or mental suffering to a person done by one person or it may be done by order of any other authority to force a person to get information to make a confession or any other reason. So under this declaration, it also states that doctors should refuse to participate in, condone, or give permission for torture, degradation, or cruel treatment of a prisoners or detainees. So, in any form, doctors should not participate in torture. Torture has often been used as a method of effecting political re-educations. It is universally considered to be an extreme violation of human rights, as stated by the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Under the Declaration of Human Rights, it is considered as an extreme violation of human rights and it should not be done. Ethical issues under torture. So, under international associations like Amnesty International Association, they argue that it is based on universal theological consensus that torture is either ill treatment or repugnant, aberrant, and immoral. But other associations, like uh, associations like like association which withheld the justice, they they argue that to obtain information from suspected terrorists by using torture method it may save innocent civilians. So it is becomes a debatable whether torture should be used or not should be used. Objectives of torture. It is first to obtain information if a person is suspected to have committed a crime against a person or property or indulged in anti-national or terrorist activities. To sign a document confessing a crime or to take revenge against a person or his family members by rape, kidnapping, or other form of torture. Next objective is to obtain testimony incriminating others. Here, the person may try to make the person to give some false witness in court to incriminate others, to spread terror in community by militant groups or by dictators ruling the country, or to destroy the personality of an individual who raise their voice against the dictatorial rule or oppression in the society. So, this form of torture is psychological torture where the person's individuality is lost by giving continuous physical pain, where the person will lose his ability to think and do activity. Types of torture there are physical torture, psychological torture, pharmacological, and sexual torture. Coming to one by one, physical torture is mainly the torture given by physical pain. There are various methods like one is beating. It may be beating on the toes using fist, shoes, wooden bars, rods, whips, etc. The victim may be suspended on the upside down, then beaten, called as falanga, or victim may be poked in by a baton or rod. A person may be bitten on the buttocks, bitten on the abdomen, which is also called as operating on the El Corfano, or both may be placed on the back of the victim and pressed down with great weight and then rolled up over the legs and body. So here the person is placed on the back and a weight is and the rod is placed in between the legs to make the person beaten. The near torture, where the repeated simultaneous slapping of both the ears by open hands, which is also called as telephono. Here, the person's both ear is slapped at a time. Then, beating or flogging, which always results in scars, bruises, or lacerations, or fractures with different stages of healing, which can be seen, has to be, which not been treated medically for long days. Many of these weapons have a characteristic pattern bruising, including tramline bruising, which is seen in cases of any beating by rods or iron rods. Tramline bruising is pattern of bruising will seen. Finger grip slap marks on the skin will be typically seen in case of beating a form of torture. Next form of physical torture is forcing the person in abnormal position like prolonged standing or prolonged sitting on an iron chair or for forced to squat for a long time, forced straddling like sitting like a sawhorse or tied up in an abnormal position for hours or like a hog tie position. Next form of physical torture is by suspension, where the person may be suspended by his wrist, ankles, arms, or hairs. Person may be suspended and head down from horizontal pole placed between the knees and the wrist. Next is giving by physical torture by burns. Burns may be done by hot iron, cigars, lighters, or by finger may be burned, toes may be burned, nipples, vagina can be also be burned. In black slave method of physical torture, where hot metal skewer is inserted up in the anus. Suffocation, where near suffocation may be occurred by means of placing a plastic bag over the head of the person, is a form of dry submarine method where the person feels suffocated. Then waterboarding, here it consists of submerging the victim's head repeatedly underwater. So here the person is continuously feels that he is drowning, but he will not be completely submerged. Post suffocation, water inhalation causes subject to experience sensation of drowning. It has been referred as water torture, water cure, El Submarino, Pileta, dunking. Then pulling, twisting of hairs, hair, teeth, genitalia, or forcing bamboo sticks under the fingernails. Victim may be tracked by hair, or teeth may be pulled out, or pencil or sharp objects, similar objects may be placed in between the two fingers and squeezed out or twisted. Then electric baton may be used to cause shocks where it can be placed over sensitive parts of the body like nipples, genitalia, or anal canal. Then irritants may be used to cause physical pain like chilies or some other chemicals like hemp may be used, which hemp may cause rashes and inflammation. It may be inserted in the rectum, vagina, or applied on the eyes or external genitalia. Next, the person may be also be caused physical torture by using cold water, like icy water is poured over the head, or forced to strip naked and stand outside in the winter night, or forced to stand in the snow or ice with bare feet or submerged in ice cold water. Sometimes the person may also be force fed to some saturated salt water, vinegar, liquor, pepper, or mustard oil, boiling water, urine, or feces to cause physical pain. Then shooting is also a form of execution, which also cause person may feel tortured. Victims are sometimes shot either through knees, joint, or thighs. Sometimes just a shot may be formed on the legs or hands to cause physical pain. Next form of torture is psychological torture. It uses non-physical methods to induce pain in the subject's mental, emotional, and psychological states. Here, the psychological torture includes deliberate use of extreme stressors and situations such as mock execution, where the person is not executed but just make him frightened enough to cause feel that he is being executed. Shunning, where the person is isolated in one area completely devoid of any light or sound. Violation of deemed such as social or sexual norms or taboos or extended solitary confinement is also one form of torture. And here the deprivation techniques, the person may be deprived of sleep, food or water, deprivation of toilet, sanitary napkins, shower or change of clothes, or prohibition of eye contact, talk or some of the methods. Coercion techniques includes threats, humiliation or sexual torture. Communication technique include disinformation, where the person is given false information, like that his family members are are dead, like that. Or witness torture, victims may be forced to witness torture of another person. Pharmacological torture includes it uses psychotropic or other chemicals to induce pain and cause compliance with torture's goals. It includes forced injection of psychotropic drugs like dimenhydrinate. Also, it includes forced to ingest chemicals or some broken glass, heated water, or soaps. Next form of torture is sexual torture. It includes person may be undressed or paraded naked or photographed in humiliating positions. The- Then every sexual assault may be done like rape, gang rape, fellatio, or forced masturbation, sodomy, usually in males, or forced abortion. Then it may be pinching or biting off of nipples may be done. Electrical baton shock of nipples or vagina, inserting bottles or rods inside the vagina. Psychological causes like forced nakedness, sexual humiliation of or forced witness of sexual torture. Sequelae of torture. Mainly the physical problems, psychological and social sequelae are seen. Physical problems include why it may range from infections like STDs, then muscular pain, fractures, brain injury, post-traumatic epilepsy. Psychological form of sequelae includes post-traumatic stress disorder, where the person may feel anxiety, fear, phobia, sleep disturbances, irritability, aggressiveness, sexual problems, suicide, depression, and anxiety disorders. Social security includes loss of job, stigma, or rejection by the society. Usually managed, it can be managed where torture victims require expertise or often specialized expertise. Common treatments are psychotropic medications, usually include like SSRI antidepressants. Now coming to medical practitioner, role of medical practitioner in torture. Medicine and medical practitioners have been drawn into ranks of torturers, either to judge that the victim can endure or to apply treatments which will enhance the torturer torturers in their own right. Medical tortures may involve the use of their expert knowledge to facilitate interrogation or corporal punishment in the conduct of unethical human exploitation. So, medical practitioners are used to know to treat the person, or may also be used to make use a method which will make method any method which will be more effective to get the information. Torture is often difficult to prove, particularly when some time has passed between the event and the medical examination. Many torturers around the world use methods designed to have maximum psychological impact while leaving only physical traces. So it is difficult to prove, and many times only psychological impact is seen in the person who get tortured. Medical and human rights organizations worldwide have collaborated to produce Istanbul Protocol, a document designed to outline common torture methods, consequences of torture, and medical examination techniques involved in tortures. Legal aspects of torture. So under Section 330 IPC, voluntary causing hurt to extort confession or to compel restoration of property is punishable and imprisonment up to 7 years. 321 IPC is voluntary causing grievous hurt to extract in confession or to compel restoration of property is punishable up to 10 years. 329 IPC states the wrongful restraint, that person is wrongfully kept in one place includes imprisonment up to 1 month under 341 IPC. Offences under these sections are cognizable. It means that the person can be arrested without any warrant and non-compoundable. Punishment for is imprisonment to 7 years, and for grievous hurt is up to 10 years. And fine. These are my references. Thank you.